Kenny Morris was a man whose influence far exceeded his public profile. Known first to the world as the original drummer of Siouxsie and the Banshees, Morris was far more than a footnote in post-punk history. He was a cultural architect of a movement that reshaped alternative music, a visual artist who found a second life beyond the stage, and a restless creative spirit who refused to be boxed into a single identity. As of now, Kenny Morris's estimated net worth stood at approximately $5 million. This wealth was not the result of chart-topping commercial success, but rather the slow accumulation of artistic labor. Music royalties from foundational post-punk recordings, earnings from visual art exhibitions, film projects, teaching roles, and independent creative ventures. Morris never pursued celebrity excess. His value lay not in opulence, but in authenticity, and in a legacy that continues to resonate across generations of musicians and artists. Early life. Kenneth Ian Morris was born on February 1, 1957, in Waltham Abbey, Essex, England, to parents of Irish heritage. While public records offer limited detail regarding the identities or occupations of his parents and siblings, it is widely acknowledged that Morris grew up in a modest, working-class household shaped by discipline, cultural tradition, and the quiet expectations of post-war Britain. Raised on the outskirts of London, Morris came of age during a period of immense social change. Britain in the 1960s and early 1970s was experiencing cultural upheaval. Music, fashion, and youth identity were rapidly evolving. For Morris, this environment proved formative. Long before he picked up drumsticks, he gravitated toward creative expression, finding meaning in sound, imagery, and movement rather than conventional academic paths. His formal education began at St. Ignatius College in Enfield, a Jesuit institution known for its emphasis on discipline and intellectual rigor. It was here that Morris forged early friendships with fellow creative minds, most notably John Maybury, who would later become an acclaimed filmmaker and a long-term collaborator. Their shared interest in art and experimental expression planted seeds that would bear fruit decades later. Following secondary school, Morris attended Barnet College of Further Education, where he began to focus more deliberately on artistic studies. He later enrolled at North East London Polytechnic, studying fine art and filmmaking, and also attended the Camberwell School of Arts and Crafts. This diverse educational background, spanning music, visual art, and film, set Morris apart from many of his contemporaries in the punk scene. He was not merely rebelling. He was constructing a multidisciplinary, artistic worldview. Personal life. Kenny Morris lived a life deliberately shielded from public intrusion. Unlike many musicians of his era, he rarely discussed romantic relationships, family matters, or domestic life in interviews. There is no publicly verified record of a spouse, husband, or long-term partner, nor is there confirmed information regarding children. This privacy was not accidental. It was a conscious choice. Morris believed that art should speak louder than biography. He resisted the culture of celebrity confessionalism, choosing instead to let his work define him. As such, any speculation about his family life remains just that, speculation. Regarding religion, Morris was educated in a Catholic environment, but he never publicly identified with any organized faith in adulthood. His later work suggests a more philosophical and humanistic outlook, driven by existential themes, social commentary, and personal introspection rather than religious doctrine. Beyond music, Morris's creative output expanded significantly. He became a filmmaker, directing several short experimental films, including La Main Morte, Blind Obedience, Le Trois Graces, Marilyn, and Summer House. These films explored identity, mortality, and psychological tension, often reflecting the same unsettling beauty found in his music. He was also a painter, illustrator, and mixed media artist, exhibiting work across Ireland and the United Kingdom. His art blended abstraction with narrative, often referencing memory, displacement, and the subconscious. Professional career. The Punk Awakening. Kenny Morris entered the professional music world at ground zero of British punk. In the mid-1970s, London was erupting with raw energy. Bands were forming not to perfect technique, but to challenge norms. Morris briefly associated with the Flowers of Romance, an early punk project involving Sid Vicious, though the group never formally recorded or performed. Everything changed in 1977 when Morris attended the legendary 100 Club Punk special. Inspired by what he witnessed, he soon joined Siouxsie and the Banshees, a band still defining itself, but already radiating danger and originality. Siouxsie and the Banshees, 1977 to 1979. As the band's original studio drummer, Morris played a critical role in shaping the sound of early post-punk. His drumming style was unconventional. He minimized cymbals, avoided traditional rock patterns, and focused instead on tom-heavy, tribal rhythms. This approach gave the band a stark, hypnotic pulse that set them apart. Morris performed on seminal releases including The Scream, 1978, and Join Hands, 1979. These albums are now regarded as foundational texts of post-punk and gothic rock. Songs like Hong Kong Garden and Metal Postcard carried an intensity that owed much to Morris's percussive restraint and tension-building instincts. Despite the artistic success, internal tensions grew. In September 1979, Morris and guitarist John McKay abruptly left the band just before a scheduled performance in Aberdeen. The departure was dramatic and sudden, but true to punk's volatile spirit. Life after the Banshees. Leaving the Banshees did not end Morris's creative journey. It liberated it. He continued working as a musician, collaborating with artists such as Helen Terry, but gradually shifted focus toward visual storytelling. In the early 1990s, Morris relocated permanently to Ireland, settling in Cork. There, he became deeply embedded in the local arts community. He taught art, ran a gallery in County Kildare, worked in theater production, and continued making films and paintings. His 2024 Dublin exhibition, A Banshee Left Wailing, symbolically closed the circle, revisiting his musical past through visual language while asserting his identity as a mature, independent artist. House tour and car collection. Unlike many musicians of his generation, Kenny Morris did not publicize his lifestyle. There are no verified house tours, luxury property showcases, or car collection features associated with him. What is known is that Morris favored quiet, functional living spaces that supported creativity rather than display. His Cork residence reportedly doubled as a working studio, filled with canvases, film equipment, and archival materials. Cars, status symbols, and excess were never central to his identity. His wealth was invested in art, not objects. College career. Kenny Morris's college career was not athletic or conventional, but intellectually rigorous and creatively expansive. His studies at Barnet College, North East London Polytechnic, and Camberwell School of Arts equipped him with technical skills and conceptual discipline that would define his post-music career. These institutions shaped him not only as a musician, but as a lifelong artist capable of reinvention. Cause of death. Kenny Morris passed away on January 15, 2026, at the age of 68. As of January 16, 2026, no official cause of death has been publicly disclosed. Tributes from musicians, artists, and fans emphasized his influence, humility, and enduring creative spirit. Kenny Morris was never chasing fame. He was chasing truth. Whether behind a drum kit, a camera, or a canvas, he sought honesty, tension, and meaning. His work helped birth post-punk, yet he refused to live in nostalgia. He reinvented himself repeatedly, proving that creativity does not expire. It evolves. In the end, Kenny Morris leaves behind no scandal, no excess, no myth larger than the work itself. What remains is more powerful, a legacy of sound, image, and integrity.